got second or third day out, I'm not sure. 2,082 miles to go. Nasty day out here. Reef main and staysail. 7.6, 8 knots, 5.9. All in all, a fine day at sea. Close. That would be really cool.
Really nice, you know? Really
Yeah. Yeah, that would be.
Sail to the whatever country they came from. Or you'd be brokered as prisoners of war.
So here's Ari and Aaron readjusting the solar panels. Now Stephen spent quite a bit of time deciding on the angle and declination of those panels to achieve the optimum without having to move. And then he went to bed. And Ari decided they need to face the sun now. So she's undoing everything Stephen did and redoing it. Meantime, they dropped our wrench in the water. Ari and Aaron did. So this will be our second installment of the solar panel episode, as you saw earlier, where they were first being adjusted. Now this is what Ari and Aaron have done. And when Stephen comes back out, I'll try and have the video camera on. I love you, man. More later.
Now we should have looked at the numbers and then look at them now. Did anybody look at the numbers?
No.
When you're having that debate?
It looks great. Hey,
Yeah, but I mean the numbers on the
I didn't look at it.
thing. So, what was it taking on before when it was heading straight up towards 12 o'clock? You know how many amps it was pumping in?
It's always hard to fucking that thing because I can't tell if the amps are stacking or if it's changing. You know what I mean? Like, I can't tell if it's a total for a day or something. Well, if so, let me look down and see if the numbers even like are familiar to me.
Right after I changed it, I looked at it and it was at 14. I wonder what it is now.
With a battery? Like 14 where?
No, on the midnight sun. On the volts.
Yeah.
There's a big difference between volts and amps. You better be careful talking to Steven that vaguely.
You know, I have studied that and tried to learn that and get that in my head, and I get it and I think it and I understand it, and it's the same thing. Like what he said, if you don't study it again the next day, and the next day, it's gone.
Out there, I was like, fuck, doesn't won't this ever stop?
Well, in a little boat, it looks a lot bigger.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty high up here.
Yeah.
As long as they're rolling like that, I'm not getting them splashing over the side. They don't really freeze me. I wouldn't want to get knocked down by one.
Huh.
You know?
Yeah. I do know. I've had that experience. It's not
I had
fun.
a girlfriend who was just laying on the dry rocks on the coast in front of her house in Maui, and a rogue wave just came. I mean, she was way up, far away from any wet. This rogue wave just came and smacked her into the rocks, beat her up to hell.
Wow.
Yeah, it was just a freak wave. So she said.
Yeah.
You know, maybe she didn't want to tell people she was that stupid that she was laying there in the water.
Yeah.
She's not, you know, she's been on the islands for a long time, so she should know better than that.
Yeah. Well, Steven, give me a little overview here. What do you think of your sailing adventure on Rosalie Clare so far?
All things considered, we've been blessed with some pretty good weather, so good.
There you go.
Hoping for no storms. That's my wishful thinking. We got a slight power issue. I'd like that to get resolved, but that's just hopefully we don't have to do anything about it. We're running the generator to compensate for the fact that the alternator is fucked on the motor. We're also dealing with some choppy waves right now, but that's the story of this trip. We've been sacrificing storms with choppy waves, and that's a deal I'm willing to keep continuing on, as far as I'm concerned.
I agree.
Other than that, I don't know shit about sailing, so this has just been one learning experience after another. The siphon for the first time today. That's impressive. I put all my theory to action right there.
There you go.
That's what I got. And I'm using this dumbass sail tie as a headbang because my nappy ass hair keeps getting in my face.
But you got the perfect knot on it, the correct sail tie knot. So that works. Ben, what about you?
And I got a bandana.
How's your sailing adventure going?
That's pretty good. Let me wash my hands. I mean, I don't want to be a dick and say that I would like at least one storm.
Don't be a dick and
I'm
say,
not gonna say
well, like
that.
Pedro says, I don't mind having a storm, I just want to know I'm going to be okay.
So yeah, I mean, it's been great. It's been really smooth weather. So I'm hoping this keeps up.
Me too. Ari, what about your sailing adventure?
What about it?
How's it going?
Well, I finally let go of all my worries because there's no point in having anything
There you
here
go.
now. And so that feels good. Just to have time to not be running around and chasing after trying to get things done because you can't do shit on this. You know, all you can do is try to balance.
There you go.
It's good. It's good.
Well, all right. Sounds like most everybody's having a good time, except me, and I miss you, baby. Love you much. Bye.
You're not gonna see that, dude.
And decided that it was fascist that the government not take your money and shit. You know, just because you said it was fascist doesn't necessarily mean you disagree with it. I don't fucking know. The point is, like, I think it's a pretty reasonable thing. It's a pretty reasonable rule, right? Because your needs more than $2 million. Yes. What estate needs to be worth more than $2 million?
Hello, lovely.
Oh, yeah.
That's an open question. I mean, do you agree or disagree with
I agree.
I don't think people should inherit anything. I think we should all start from scratch.
Well, no, that's not true. You always want your kids to do better than you. If you can help them, you want to.
But I kind of don't like the idea that your kids can float by like this Rockefeller Vanderbilt bullshit. You know, where you have like this like money inherits money, which makes more money and doesn't do anything. I
True.
want my kids to do better than me through the merit of their like education, maybe, but I don't want them to have anything else. Yeah, you work really hard to develop, to give your kids the opportunities to do better than you, not so that they automatically start better than you. That's fucked up. No, I mean they will to some extent, but like.
No, the problem is you think that your kids are your kids. Like, that's the problem. You become emotionally attached to just two kids. And they're not even fucking that great. There's a whole world of kids out there.
That's a good point. Yeah, your
There's
kids
a
can
whole-
be shit.
Yeah, there's a whole world of kids out there. There's no reason to be emotionally attached to these two fuckers that popped out of your wife or whatever. Like,
Did you say mobbed out?
popped out.
Mobbed out's even funnier.
Well, you know I say mob out sometimes when we gotta roll.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, let's mob this piece. But like, it's just fucking funny that like we become so emotionally attached to these two things. Whoa, like that's gonna be the fucking saving the world. Your kid's not gonna be the next Einstein, but the fucking guy digging up mud in Africa who taught himself geometry with two sticks, he is going to be the next Einstein if you just gave him $10 to fucking buy a textbook. So it's bullshit that we're like just totally fucked up.
A new little club-footed jib. The repaired staysail started to rip, so we pulled it down. We'll repair it, save it for the trade. This little thing's looking good right now. Got it at Minnie's, $250. Almost 1,000 miles out from Oceanside, San Diego. Getting there. Or later.